Welcome to Rare Coins Numix, where every coin tells a story. Today, we're revealing the most sought-after state quarters, rare finds that collectors can't get enough of. Make sure to watch till the end to discover what makes these coins so special and valuable. You won't want to miss the incredible coin values we uncover. Have you ever thought that one of the coins in your pocket change could be worth more than a luxury car? Sometimes, the most ordinary-looking pieces can hold extraordinary value. That's exactly the case with one very special state quarter, so let's take a closer look. We're talking about the 1999 Georgia State Quarter. At first glance, it looks just like the others in the State Quarters program, the same size, weight, and George Washington portrait on the obverse. It's the kind of coin you might use countless times and never give a second thought. But beneath that everyday exterior lies a fascinating story of craftsmanship, history, and hunt for perfection. Released on July 19, 1999, it was the fourth coin in the popular 50 State Quarters program, a series that revived interest in U.S. coin collecting by bringing state pride and local symbolism into the national currency. Georgia's quarter quickly became iconic, celebrated for its thoughtful design and cultural resonance. Look closely at the reverse. There's an outline of Georgia, with a plump peach at its heart, symbolizing the state's famous agricultural heritage. Flanking the peach are live oak sprigs, representing endurance and strength, and above them is a banner carrying the state motto, wisdom, justice, moderation. It's a compact story, rich in symbolism, etched onto a coin that fits in your pocket. But what transforms a common Georgia quarter into a sought-after collectible? It boils down to three key factors: condition, error, and provenance. Condition, a coin's grade, is everything. Millions of these quarters entered circulation, picking up marks, scuffs, and wear from everyday handling. Yet a handful escaped that journey entirely, remaining untouched in mint bags, original folders, or secure collections. These coins retain their original shine and crisp detail, qualities that grade very high, sometimes as MS-67 or MS-68, making them exceptionally rare. Error coins offer another path to value. Coins that left the mint with flaws, like off-center strikes, doubled images, missing letters, or metal blanks, are anomalies that snag attention from collectors. Such coins are uncommon and often slip through quality control, only to be discovered years later by someone who notices something just a bit off. These coins can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. Provenance also matters. A well-documented history, such as being part of a famous collection or discovered in an intriguing context, can elevate a coin's appeal and price. Coins found in time capsules, bank vaults, or estate collections often come with a story that further sparks collector interest. So when you're exploring coins today, pay attention to surface quality, strike clarity, and luster. A Georgia quarter with clean lines around the outline of the state, sharply struck letters in its motto, and full reflective fields could be worth examining further. If you encounter one with unusual characteristics, like doubling of letters or parts of the design missing, that's even more reason to pause and inspect it closely. Many discovery stories begin in surprising places: an old coin album, a vintage pocket change jar, an estate sale find, or even a forgotten batch from a bank roll. So if you come across a 1999 Georgia quarter that appears to stand out, clean, crisp, or slightly misstruck, it could be far more valuable than the 25 cents it's worth in everyday transactions. One particular specimen of the 1999 Georgia State Quarter, kept in pristine mint state condition and displaying qualities desired by top collectors, has been valued at an astonishing $66,000. $66,000 for a single quarter. It goes to show that even the most ordinary-looking coin in your pocket might carry extraordinary value. The beauty of collecting isn't just about age or rarity, sometimes it's about the right condition, a small imperfection, or simply being in the right place at the right time. Coins like this remind us that history isn't always behind glass in a museum. Sometimes, it's sitting unnoticed in a drawer, a change jar, or a forgotten roll from the bank. That's what makes the hobby so fascinating. You're not just collecting metal, you're uncovering real stories. Every coin has a journey. Some pass through hundreds of hands and vanish into everyday use. Others are set aside early, never circulated, and later discovered to be something remarkable. The 1999 Georgia State Quarter is a perfect example of how a simple design can gain significant value when preserved with care or marked by rare minting features. If you've got coins tucked away in albums, jars, or rolls, now might be the time to take a second look. Especially state quarters from the early years of the program, because the more people spend them, the fewer pristine examples remain. And who knows? That single coin you almost overlooked could end up being worth thousands. So keep searching, keep checking, and most importantly, never underestimate what you might already have. The next hidden gem could be closer than you think. Now let's explore our next coin, a deceptively simple piece of metal that carries within it a slice of American pride, geological wonder, and numismatic drama. This is the 2000 New Hampshire State Quarter, and while millions of them passed through cash registers and coin jars unnoticed, a rare few turned out to be treasures in disguise. One in particular stunned the collector world with its beauty, rarity, and extraordinary value, eventually selling for an eye-watering price. The New Hampshire State Quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's historic 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This was no ordinary release, it was a national celebration. For the first time, each U.S. state was invited to express its unique identity, culture, and story on the reverse of America's most familiar coin, the quarter. When New Hampshire's moment arrived in 2000, the choice of design was both powerful and poetic. The coin featured the Old Man of the Mountain, a naturally formed granite cliff that, when viewed from a certain angle, resembled a craggy, dignified human face peering over the White Mountains. This ancient stone profile had become a cherished symbol in New Hampshire, proudly appearing on license plates, stamps, and tourism brochures. Locals saw in it a kind of stoic guardian, quietly watching over the state through centuries of history. Beneath the old man, flowing lines represent the natural contours of the state, and above him, carved into the design like a defiant anthem, are the words, "Live free or die." It's not just a motto. It's a declaration of character, originally penned by Revolutionary War hero General John Stark in 1809. For a coin only 24 millimeters wide, this one managed to capture the spirit of an entire region, but while the design was stirring, what came next was completely unplanned. As the quarters rolled off mint presses by the millions in Philadelphia and Denver, most of them were flawless and destined for everyday use. But a very limited number struck at the Denver Mint emerged with a major doubling error, and that's where the story takes a sharp and lucrative turn. On these rare error coins, the obverse, the side featuring George Washington, shows clear doubling, especially around his face, chin, and neck, as well as on the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and the date. The error wasn't subtle. It was obvious, dramatic, and unintentional, the kind of mistake that collectors dream about. In the world of coin collecting, this kind of flaw is called a double die obverse, and it occurs when the die used to strike the coin gets misaligned during the minting process, creating a ghost-like secondary image. These errors are rare enough on older coins, but when they occur in modern currency, especially one with a wide national release, they become prized possessions. As the coin began appearing in collector circles, buzz quickly built online. Forums lit up with posts about the New Hampshire double die, and images of the error circulated on websites and Facebook groups. Still, no one expected just how rare, and valuable, it would become. Only a tiny handful were ever confirmed with such a crisp doubling pattern, and even fewer remained in pristine condition. Then, one coin emerged that changed everything. This particular New Hampshire quarter had been pulled from circulation and carefully preserved. When it was submitted to PCGS, one of the most respected coin grading authorities in the world, it came back with a jaw-dropping grade of MS67, Mint State 67. That number may sound technical, but in collecting terms, it means near perfect, flawless surfaces, sharp details, brilliant luster. And most importantly, it was the only one of its kind at that grade. A population of one. That means there's not another known example in the world that matches it. Collectors refer to this as a Pop 1 coin, and when that happens, when a modern era coin is both extremely rare and in extraordinary condition, it becomes something far greater than just money. It becomes a trophy piece. The kind of coin people fight over. The kind of coin that headlines auctions, and that's exactly what happened. As news of the coin's grade spread through the numismatic community, interest exploded. Serious collectors lined up. Coin dealers made offers. But its owner decided to go big, and consigned it to one of the most prestigious auction houses in the country. The lot was announced weeks in advance, and anticipation began to build. On the night of the auction, the room was electric. The coin appeared on the screen, its dramatic doubling showcased in full resolution. The catalog called it the finest known example of a modern double-die quarter in the State Quarter series. Bidding started strong, then kept rising. Phones rang. Online bids poured in. Veteran collectors shook their heads in disbelief. And then, after a fierce back and forth, the auctioneer's gavel came down. The final sale price? $60,000. Yes, you heard that right. A quarter worth 25 cents, sold for $60,000. What makes that moment so thrilling isn't just the money. It's the journey. A coin that could have been tossed into a vending machine or lost between couch cushions instead became a record breaker. It combined everything collectors look for: stunning visual error, historic importance, iconic design, and unmatched condition. So the next time you're holding pocket change, think twice before spending it without a glance. That plain-looking quarter might just be a treasure in disguise. And if you're lucky enough to spot a 2000 New Hampshire quarter with unusual doubling on the front, especially with a D mint mark, take a closer look. Because somewhere out there, another hidden gem may still be waiting to be discovered. Up next, we're heading to the breathtaking Pacific Northwest, to a state defined by its towering evergreens, dramatic volcanic landscapes, and a spirit that blends rugged wilderness with pioneer grit. The 2005 Oregon State Quarter is more than just a piece of metal, it's a small window into a vast and inspiring story that stretches from the deep forests to the shimmering waters of Crater Lake. When the Oregon Quarter was unveiled as part of the continuing 50 State Quarters program, it captured imaginations not only with its stunning design but also with the way it encapsulated the essence of the state. This quarter speaks to Oregon's rich natural heritage and the enduring bond between its people and the land. At the heart of the design stands the majestic Douglas fir tree, a symbol of Oregon's abundant forests and one of the tallest trees in the world. The Douglas fir isn't just any tree, it represents resilience, strength, and the timeless beauty of the Pacific Northwest. Its needles and cones are depicted in fine detail, reminding us of the delicate balance between nature's grandeur and fragility. To the left, the design honors one of Oregon's most famous natural wonders, Crater Lake. Formed nearly 7,700 years ago after a volcanic eruption caused a massive collapse, the lake is known for its stunningly clear and deep blue water, the deepest lake in the United States. The coin's engraving captures the unique shape of the caldera rim, inviting anyone who sees it to imagine standing at its edge, breathing in the fresh mountain air. Rising behind this scene is the silhouette of Mount Hood, Oregon's tallest peak and a favorite destination for climbers, skiers, and outdoor enthusiasts. Covered in snow year-round, Mount Hood symbolizes adventure and a wild, untamed spirit that has long defined the state. Together, these three elements, tree, lake, and mountain, paint a vivid picture of Oregon's diverse and breathtaking landscapes. Surrounding the imagery are the inscriptions, Oregon, the year, 2005, and the state motto, the Union. This motto, simple but profound, recalls Oregon's path to statehood and its steadfast commitment to the unity of the United States during a period of growth and change. It's a subtle nod to history tucked neatly into a quarter. The coin was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with a combined production exceeding 740 million pieces, a staggering number that made the Oregon Quarter a common sight in everyday commerce. Most were spent like any other quarter, jangling through pockets and vending machines, perhaps even slipping unnoticed into piggy banks. But amid this sea of ordinary coins, a few rare gems emerged, catching the eye of collectors who know that sometimes the smallest details make the biggest difference. Some of these quarters displayed slight anomalies, minute doubling of the letters, faint die cracks, and variations in the strike's sharpness that set them apart from the rest. Among these anomalies, a particular doubling variety became legendary. This doubling wasn't easy to spot for the casual eye, but for collectors, it represented a special kind of treasure, a minting error that transformed a common coin into a rare collectible. These doubled elements added a new layer of intrigue, encouraging collectors to search their change with renewed excitement. Because of the enormous production numbers, finding one of these rare double-die quarters in pristine condition is exceptionally challenging. Coins that have avoided the wear and tear of circulation, showing crisp details and strong luster, are exceedingly rare. Graded examples at the top of the scale attract high interest, especially from those eager to own a unique piece of the state quarter saga. As demand grew, the coin's value steadily increased, fueled by its compelling design, limited error occurrences, and the ever-growing community of collectors fascinated by state quarters and minting anomalies. This quarter is a perfect example of how modern coins, often overlooked, can become prized artifacts. Collectors often talk about the thrill of discovery, the chance that a simple coin pulled from a jar might be something special. The 2005 Oregon State Quarter embodies that thrill. It reminds us all that history and value can hide in the smallest of objects, waiting to be uncovered. After years of rising interest, this coin, especially those exhibiting the rare doubling varieties and in exceptional condition, has become one of the most sought-after modern quarters. The story of this humble piece of currency evolving into a coveted collectible is a testament to the magic of coin collecting. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the 2005 Oregon State Quarter, with its stunning design, rare minting anomalies, and pristine preservation, holds a remarkable coin value of $53,000. That's right. $53,000 for a coin originally worth just 25 cents. It's an incredible journey from pocket change to prized treasure, and a powerful reminder that sometimes, the most extraordinary stories come in the smallest packages. Now let's explore a coin that captures the fierce beauty and resilient spirit of the American Southwest, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter. This coin, though small and often overlooked in everyday change, tells a vivid story of a land defined by extremes, blazing sun, vast deserts, towering cacti, and a history as rugged as the terrain itself. But beyond its artistic charm, this quarter hides a surprising secret, one that has made it incredibly valuable to collectors worldwide. The 50 State Quarters program, launched in 1999, was a groundbreaking project by the U.S. Mint to celebrate the unique heritage and identity of each state. By 2008, the program was nearing its conclusion, and anticipation was high for what Arizona would present. Known as the Grand Canyon State, Arizona's landscape is legendary, its deserts and mountains capturing the imagination of explorers, artists, and nature lovers for centuries. The state's quarter design had to encapsulate this vast, rugged beauty in a mere 24 millimeters of metal, and it did so with stunning success. At the center of the coin is the majestic saguaro cactus, one of the most recognizable symbols of the Southwest. This towering cactus, with its arms reaching skyward, stands as a testament to survival and endurance in one of the most unforgiving climates in the country. The artist's detailed engraving brings the cactus to life, showing the texture of its ribbed skin and the graceful curve of its arms. It's almost as if you can feel the desert sun beating down and hear the whisper of dry winds through the needles. Behind the cactus, the coin depicts a sweeping mountain range, symbolizing Arizona's diverse geography. From the red rocks of Sedona to the pine forests surrounding Flagstaff, the state's terrain shifts dramatically, and this quarter manages to evoke that variety in a simple yet evocative design. Above it all, the sun shines brightly, its rays radiating outward to fill the coin's surface with energy and warmth. This sunburst not only represents Arizona's famously sunny weather but also symbolizes hope, vitality, and the endless possibilities that come with a new day. Inscribed above this beautiful scene are the words, Arizona, and the year, 2008, marking the state's proud moment in the series. Around the edge, the quarter carries the standard inscriptions and the mint mark, but the real story lies in the details that collectors have learned to seek out. While millions of these quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, over 140 million from each, most were destined for everyday use, jingling in pockets, vending machines, and coin jars. But some quarters caught the eyes of numismatists for reasons beyond their design. Among these were a handful of coins exhibiting a rare but fascinating error, the double die effect. This error happens during the minting process when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice but slightly misaligned on the die. The result is a shadow or doubling effect that appears on certain parts of the coin, often visible on the lettering or key design elements. For the 2008 Arizona quarter, this doubling is most noticeable on the word Arizona and on the cactus arms, where the lines seem to duplicate faintly, creating an unusual and eye-catching effect. To the casual observer, this might seem like a minor imperfection. But in the world of coin collecting, errors like these are prized because they are rare, unintentional, and provide a unique story. They are the kind of happy accidents that transform ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. Collectors hunting for error coins often sift through thousands of quarters, searching for this elusive doubling. When found, especially on coins that have never been circulated, their value can skyrocket. That's because most coins in circulation show signs of wear, and errors on worn coins are less desirable. Mint state coins, those that look as if they just came out of the mint, command a premium. The 2008 Arizona State Quarter's error variety, combined with its striking design and cultural significance, has made it highly sought after. Over the years, as collectors have competed to add this rare piece to their collections, the coin's value has steadily increased. It's not just about rarity, though. The quarter represents a tangible connection to Arizona's identity, the resilient cactus, the ever-present sun, the majestic mountains, elements that define the state's landscape and spirit. For collectors, owning this coin is like holding a piece of Arizona's soul. And as with many coins from the 50 State Quarter series, the story doesn't end with the mint. These quarters have become a gateway into the broader world of numismatics, sparking interest in state history, geology, and art. Today, this coin continues to fascinate collectors around the globe. Those who own the best-preserved examples with the double die error are sitting on a truly valuable treasure. It's a reminder that sometimes, what appears to be just another coin in your pocket can actually be a rare and priceless artifact. So the next time you come across a 2008 Arizona quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. You might be holding more than just change, you might be holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. And now, for the exciting conclusion, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter, especially those rare double die varieties in pristine condition, holds an astounding coin value of $49,000. It's a remarkable journey from everyday pocket change to a treasured collector's gem, proving that even the smallest objects can carry the biggest stories and the greatest surprises. Up next, we journey into a corner of American history where nature, exploration, and the spirit of expansion come together, the story of the 2016 State Quarter that honors the Cumberland Gap. This quarter is not just a piece of currency, it's a small window into a monumental chapter in the nation's westward growth and the adventurous spirit of early America. The Cumberland Gap is a natural pass through the Appalachian Mountains, located near the borders of Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee. For centuries, it served as a vital gateway to the American frontier, providing pioneers with a path through the rugged mountains that once seemed impassable. This narrow passage became legendary as the gateway to the West, enabling thousands of settlers to move into the vast lands beyond the Appalachians during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. When the U.S. Mint announced the 2016 quarter celebrating this historic site, collectors and history enthusiasts were eager to see how the coin would capture the spirit of such an important landmark. The design artist chose to showcase a panoramic view of the gap itself, highlighting the dramatic ridges and valleys that have witnessed so many footsteps of history. At the center of the coin, a trail winds through the gap, inviting the viewer to imagine the pioneers, traders, and explorers who once traveled this very path. To the left, a silhouette of Daniel Boone, perhaps the most famous figure associated with the Cumberland Gap, stands boldly, representing the courage and determination of those early Americans who braved the unknown. Boone is often credited with blazing the wilderness road through the gap, opening it to settlement and trade. The surrounding landscape on the quarter is richly detailed, with layered mountain ranges stretching into the distance, emphasizing the rugged terrain and natural beauty of this historic corridor. The word Kentucky arches along the top, along with the year 2016, anchoring the coin in both place and time. Like many quarters from the State series, the Cumberland Gap Quarter was minted in large numbers, produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Millions entered circulation, making it a familiar face in change and collections nationwide. However, as with many modern coins, rarity and special features can make certain versions stand out, and that's where the story of this quarter gets truly exciting. Collectors quickly began examining the 2016 Cumberland Gap Quarter for unique characteristics and minting anomalies. Among the findings were subtle variations in the coin's strike quality and minor differences in how sharply the details were impressed. These nuances may seem minor, but in numismatics, they can add value and intrigue, especially when paired with coins that have been exceptionally preserved. More intriguing were reports of a rare error variety involving doubling, known as a double die error, where some of the lettering and design elements appear slightly duplicated. Such errors are caused by a misalignment during the coin's die creation process and are prized because they are unintentional and relatively scarce. For collectors, these double die varieties provide a tangible connection to the minting process, adding layers of depth to a coin that might otherwise be considered ordinary. When such errors are found on coins in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of wear and maintain their original luster, their desirability and value increase significantly. Over time, as more collectors discovered and sought after these special Cumberland Gap quarters, demand grew. The combination of historical significance, beautiful design, and rarity of error varieties created a perfect storm for this coin to become a prized collectible. The story of the Cumberland Gap Quarter reminds us that even in the world of mass-produced coins, surprises await. What might seem like a common coin can, under the right circumstances, become a rare treasure. And now, after all this rich history and fascinating detail, the moment you've been waiting for, the 2016 Cumberland Gap State Quarter, especially those rare error varieties in pristine condition, holds an impressive coin value of $34,000. It's an extraordinary transformation, from a quarter used in everyday transactions to a valuable artifact that tells the story of America's adventurous past. So keep an eye out for this remarkable piece, because history and value often hide in the smallest places. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning to explore the fascinating world of coins, the 2016 Cumberland Gap Quarter is a perfect example of how history, artistry, and those rare minting surprises can turn an ordinary coin into something truly extraordinary. That if you come across this quarter, especially one that shows any unusual doubling or appears in pristine, uncirculated condition, take a closer look. It could be far more valuable than you might imagine, holding a piece of American heritage and a significant coin value all in one. Remember, every coin tells a story, and sometimes the smallest details reveal the biggest secrets. The journey from pocket change to prized collectible is always full of surprises. Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a single coin to connect us to the past and even change your future. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos filled with more fascinating stories and valuable tips. Your support means a lot and keeps us motivated to bring you the best content possible. Feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts or any questions you might have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.